I speak out about changing the world all the time. I say that the people that are in charge of our planet are criminals and all this sort of stuff, but I don't hate them for it. I don't judge them for being, in a way that makes me want to hurt them. I can look at them and I can appraise their actions and say, well, that's criminal activity, that's psychopathic activity, that's polarised activity, and it's not acceptable. But I don't judge the perpetrators for carrying out that activity. That's simply the energy that they're locked into. And once you get into this energy and you start getting a little bit of power in your life, if you rise up the political ladder and you start getting power over other people, this becomes very addictive. It becomes very, very seductive. And people just get caught into it. They just get caught into this, and the more they get, the more seductive it becomes, because the greater power they've got, it's just this exponential thing, And they end up totally polarised and acting in completely psychopathic ways, but in their eyes, they're doing the right thing. But a lot of these people, they're not consciously evil. There are some who probably are consciously bad, who do bad things and wrong things, like we were talking earlier before we started the interview about the pedophile rings that exist around the planet that are all got government officials involved in all of these rings. These people, I would not say that these people are unconsciously doing the wrong thing. I'd say these people are damn straight doing the wrong thing, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. But many people in positions of power, your average police officer on the street, these people sincerely believe they are doing the right thing. But their brains have been sort of, I don't know, they're kind of brainwashed. They've just got a twisted view of reality. They're completely disconnected from source, and that's what needs to be taken into account. I believe all of them need healing more than they need hurting.
Yeah, it's important also, that we point out that those in the military and that those in the police force are, helping to create a police state and a state of fascism that's going to enslave them and their children as well, and not just, the public that they are currently policing.
Oh, very much. Well, that's the thing. It's divide and conquer. And when people think divide and conquer, they think of different political groups. But it's within all society, because when you look at how the people are being controlled, well, they're using the people to control the people. It's the people who make up the police forces. It's the people who make up the military. I mean, what if the government threw a war and nobody came? The soldiers just decided they weren't going to go to work that day. No, we're not going to go and kill anybody's daughters, anybody's children, anybody's sons. Give the gun to the president and say, sorry, sir, you'll have to go and do it. We're not fighting today. What would they do? They couldn't do anything, And people have to understand that the only thing that's being used to control us is the people. The people are the system. People say, how do we bring down this system? Well, the way to bring it down is to realise that we are the system, and we have to stop complying with what these people tell us to do. They tell you to go and you're in a police group or a military group, and they tell you to go and repress this group of people over here. Don't do it. Question the government that would give you the power to go and repress these people. If you're a police officer that has like what we're seeing in Copenhagen, we saw in Copenhagen when those police officers were out there battening those kids sitting on the street, and they just did it because the government had given them the power to do this, move them by any means. What you have to do is question the government that has given you the power to go and oppress your children in that way, oppress your citizens in that way. And by you doing what you did to those children, by hitting those kids on the head, you're agreeing for someone to walk into your house and hit your mother on the head with a baton, hit your own children on the head with a baton, hit you on the head with a baton. These are just people, and you're just a person, and you're doing all of this stuff at someone else's orders. It's the person who ordered you that needs to be arrested. And even further, when you look at Copenhagen, you've got to look at what this was. This was an attempt to sign sovereign power of most countries over to a private monetary system. And these people, these police officers were given the permission to go and baton teenagers in order to protect a privately run monetary system that was trying to take over their country. Can you see something wrong with this picture? I mean, these police officers seriously need to wake up to themselves. I think police officers are some of the most brainwashed people in our society, and I think that they are the main threat that society faces. The main threat that the people of all of our nations face actually comes from our governments. Not our governments itself, but a criminal cabal that is in control of all of our governments, and this seriously needs to be addressed.
Yes, I find it quite interesting that a group of people that are getting together supposedly to save the planet all needed to arrive individually in private airplanes, to all be driven individually in private limousines, which had to have a cadre of other police and security on either side of them. In fact, so many limousines that they did not have enough limousines in Copenhagen, and they were bringing them up from Germany. These are the people that are concerned about carbon emissions. I mean, it's obviously a falsehood.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was a dead giveaway, that one. I mean, these fleets of limousines, 24 limousines per delegate on some occasions, I think, or 12 or 24 limousines per delegate. They're absolutely amazing, completely ridiculous, and very well noted, I might add, Megan.
Oh, no problem. So, perhaps then we continue on with some more current events and just get your perspective on the things that are going on currently in Haiti.
In Haiti's a very, very interesting situation. There's a lot of people, a lot of South American countries are saying that the Western response, the help that's been given to Haiti by Western countries is little more than an invasion disguised as a humanitarian effort. There's been an incredible amount of soldiers put there by the US. I've had different reports, 10 to 16,000 troops have been sent in there to help with distribution of food. And yet there's so many soldiers in there that it's actually hampering aid efforts. And there's an awful lot of oil in Haiti. There's an awful lot of resources in Haiti, and it doesn't seem right at all. There's also been reports of the good old Mossad in there, the Israelis in there harvesting organs. Been a lot of reports of that. So Israel is notorious for harvesting organs from disaster zones. So that needs to be taken into account as well. Of course, I don't want to be called anti-Semitic and jailed for 14 years for speaking out against Israel, like another poor member of Australia over here.
You're being interviewed by a Semite, so.
But it's shocking, really, what's going on over there, and I'm hearing so many mixed reports. But it seems very orchestrated, and I know people might think it's hard to orchestrate a natural disaster like an earthquake, but there is HAARP technology, there is Tesla technology, and if people doubt the existence of this technology, well, I suggest they do some research. And there is also the interesting fact that they were having a drill. They're always having a drill, Megan. They were having a drill on 9/11 of flying planes into those very buildings at those very times. They were having drills in 7/7 bombing in London about blowing up those stations at those same times. And now we find that the United States military was having a drill on how they would provide aid effort to Haiti in the event of a natural disaster, probably a hurricane or something like that. This drill started the day before the earthquake, and then, oh look, we can just spring it into real time, we can go and help these people. It just, I don't know, it gets to a stage where this many coincidences just isn't possible. It's like these people are psychic. They can just predict when these bad things are going to happen, and so they have a drill so that they're just going to be ready at the time. You know, we've got to be glad that we've got such wonderful, insighted people in power, really, don't we?